Hey everyone, I'm officially back from Kenya and it feels so good to be home. So nice. Got home and we're going through all the stuff and envelopes and packages and junk and everything, and I got a card from somebody in the mail. It said, "Hey Russell, I want you on my podcast. It's only takes 7 minutes. Let me know if you're in." And I read that and I gave her my wife. I was like, "What do you think about this?" She's like, "I don't know, it sounds good." I said, "Do you notice in this card, he was basically telling me the benefit to him. Like, hey, I really want you on my podcast. Like, that's a benefit for him. He did give me one benefit, was it only takes 7 minutes of my time. But he didn't talk about what was in it for me." And I want everyone to understand this. When you're asking people for anything, this is, you're trying to sell something. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you always have to create an offer. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but when I was first getting started, there was an acronym, I don't know, called WIIFM. What's in it for me? And so whenever I'm like pitching somebody on something, I'm not telling them what's in it for me. I'm telling them what's in it for them. What's in it? I want the customer thinking, or the person saying, what's in it for me? So if I was going to pitch Russell on a podcast, I wouldn't say, hey, it's only going to take 7 minutes. It's going to be amazing to have you on my podcast. Because all that you're really doing is pitching like the benefits of yourself is having me on your podcast. You got to start thinking about, what's the offer I'm creating Russell for him to take the time out of his day to be on my podcast. This is true if you ask them to be on a podcast, an interview, asking a girl on a date, asking a boy on a date. I don't know. Nowadays that happens, I guess. Asking somebody for money. Like, it's always like, what's in it for them? Like, what? WIIFM, thinking about that from their perspective. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Like, what is it that is in it for them? I would say something like, hey Russell, I've got a podcast right now. I've got X amount of listeners. My people are entrepreneurs. They're obsessed with this thing. A lot of them know who you are, but I want to get deeper so they can understand who you are better. If you decide to do this podcast, these are the things I'm going to do to help promote it, make sure that the time you spend isn't a waste. Number one, the first thing I'm going to do, I start creating an offer, right? The first thing I'm going to do, podcast will only take 7 minutes. So it's not going to take a ton of your time. So it'll be really, really fast. Number two, after it's done, I'm going to spend up to $2,000 promoting this on Facebook to make sure that everybody hears the podcast, gets listened to you. Number three is my entire customer list. Maybe it's not huge right now, but I'm going to go and I'm going to do a big promotion for anybody who listens to the podcast to get a free copy of your book. In fact, I would love to buy 100 copies of your book that I can just give away to my listeners. I know you are a big believer in OUR. It's a charity that you believe in. What I'll also do is in the podcast episode, I'm going to tell everyone to go to OURfilm.org so they can watch the documentary you created, so it can spread that mission. And number five, I'll also promote that to my entire email list so that they can understand about it. That way, you only spend 7 minutes of your time. And what's going to happen is you're going to sell a bunch of books. You're going to message about OUR out there to the world, blah, 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 right? So now it's like, holy cow, look at the benefit for me. Look, all these things he's going to do for me in exchange for my 7 minutes of my time. That would have got me to take the card to my office. Instead, I looked at it and I kind of smiled and I put it into the trash. And so hopefully the person who sent this is listening to it because it's a good idea for them. But for all of you guys, I want you thinking about that. When you're asking somebody for something, and it doesn't matter how small it seems to you. Like 7 minutes may seem like a small thing for you. But for me, it's 7 minutes. It's never 7 minutes either. There's going to be 10, 15 minutes of prep time. I have to stop whatever I'm doing to do this thing. So, it's almost 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes of swing time for me to do a 7-minute interview, right? If I was to sell that, it would be $5,000 or more. So it's like, hey, I got to make at least $5,000 worth of value for Russell for him to take this time out to go and do the thing, right? And so start thinking about that every single time you're asking somebody for anything. It's just coming back and realizing, I need to make an offer. I need to make an irresistible offer. Even though it seems like 7 minutes is not that big of a deal, huge for Russell or huge for whoever you're promoting or you're pitching on, whatever the thing is you want to do. It's the same skill if you're asking an affiliate, if you're asking for an interview, if you're asking a customer. We need to become better at creating irresistible offers. Okay? I'm going to preach that over and over and over and over and over again. In fact, we're working on a challenge where we're going to be working with you guys to get your first $1,000 or to get you to the first million, whatever the next one funnel way is that you're looking for your business. The majority of what that thing is going to be is teaching us how to create irresistible offers. And so for you guys, start thinking about every single aspect of your life. If I was going to ask a girl on the day, I'm not going to come to her like, hey, do you want to go on a date with me? I'm going to say, I'm going to create an irresistible offer. I'm going to say, hey, I don't know if you know, but there's this really cool band that's coming in town. They're one of my favorite bands in the world. What we'll do is before we go to the concert, we're going to get sushi, because that's what's your favorite food? Sushi? Cool. We're going to get sushi. Then we're going to go to the concert. After the concert, a bunch of us are hiking up this mountain. We're going to watch the sunset or the sunrise or something. It's going to be amazing. So whatever, right? And I'm going to create a really good offer, because then it's like, then the person I'm asking on our date's not saying, okay, do I want to spend a night with this person or not? They're saying, holy cow, if I spend a night with this person, look at the benefits that come back to me. What's in it for me? That's what your prospect is always saying, no matter what the offer is, no matter what the pitch is, no matter if you are pitching a date, pitching a promotion, pitching an interview, pitching a sell, whatever it is, they're always thinking, what's in it for me? And so you have to make that so irresistible. How do you make a stack slide? Like, go back to Expert Secrets, study the stack slide section, making a stack slide for everything, literally everything. Your entire goal is just make the thing that you are asking them so much more valuable than the thing you're trying to get in return. Okay, if it's money, if it's time, if it's whatever, make the thing you're offering them so much more valuable than what you're asking in return, and they have to say yes. If you want more videos like this, they're going to show you the actual step-by-step, the how-to. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. I'm going to keep on dropping gold and dropping bombs for you guys because it is your time. The opportunities are here, and I want you guys to grab your piece of the opportunities that are here inside of 2018.